Hey guys, what's up? Thank y'all for joining the live. Not sure what's going on. Not sure what's going on with my life, but we're gonna get through it. Okay. Thank you all for being here. Let's get into our live. As you guys can see in my description, Naziah's aunt Shannon, you guys, crashes out on social media and she slips up and says something a little suspect. We're going to get into it, okay? Because people been on her ass here since Naziah's been missing. And we got to talk about it, okay? Yeah, we got to talk about it. I don't know what the hell is going on. And okay, I don't know. I don't know. So let's just continue, child. All right. So this is hopefully not gonna be a long video. Because I'm trying to push out as many as I can today. Because golly, is so much going on. And I was just like, oh my God. So everything said in the video is alleged in my opinion and is used for fair use and entertainment. Okay, so first and foremost, to refresh you guys' memory of what's going on, let's go ahead and get into a few clips so that you guys will know about the Naziah case, who this person is, what's being said, the whole nine. All right, let's get into it. All right, so Mr. Naziah Harris, trial date set for suspect Jarvis Butts. Now, y'all know they just had a recent court date, okay, on March the 7th, at which I covered that, okay? So let's get into the video. And
I'm attorney Mark Bernstein. Our no-fee guarantee.
After the ad. All right, so that you guys can be caught up on what's going on, because we got to get into some new developments with that. Because baby, she is doing a lot, and she done said something that we kind of side-eyed.
The evidence all points to Jarvis Butts.
After days of testimony, Judge Aaliyah Sabri with harsh words for rapist and accused killer Jarvis Butts.
Jarvis Butts, you are the monster in this whole picture. You are just a true definition of a pedophile. We may never know what happened, but from what I heard today and over the last 4 or 5 days, it appears he intended to perform what he thought was a do-it-yourself abortion on Naziah. It went south, and instead of seeking medical attention for her, he intentionally killed her and tried his best to cover it up.
Earlier in the day, the officer in charge of the case reading hundreds of text messages between 13-year-old Naziah Harris and now 42-year-old Jarvis Butts. Their sexual relationship started when she was just 12.
The text messages between you two were disgusting to hear.
Text messages about sex and Naziah's pregnancy, her asking him for the abortion pill in October of 2023.
Naziah says,
Hey, everybody.
Hey, babe, I need that plan B today.
By late November, she's still asking.
I need you to bring me what I need tonight. It's hard doing all this gym with this baby. And if I don't do them, I'm going to get a F.
On January 9th, 2024, 1 year ago, Naziah sends her last text and is last seen with Jarvis Butts, her bloody sweatshirt found near the Rouge River. Defense attorneys argued there was no body, no evidence Jarvis Butts killed her. But prosecutors argued otherwise, and the judge agreed.
The last time that she was seen was on January 9th, 2024 at 2:56, getting off of the bus at 3 Mile Drive in Cornwall and walking down Bedford. She was walking towards what she didn't know at the time would be Jarvis Butts and her ultimate murder by him.
As much as I want her to be alive today, there is at least probable cause to show and believe that she's dead and she was murdered by Jarvis Butts.
Butts was bound over for trial and will remain behind bars. Amy Lang, Fox 2 News.
Okay. So y'all see that they've already broken it down. The trial, as you guys can see, the trial for Jarvis Butts is set for October the 6th. Okay. And Butts, of course, is accused of sexual assaulting, kidnapping, and murder. Okay, unaliving 13-year-old Naziah Harris. Harris disappeared after getting off the bus in Detroit on January 2024. Prosecutors alleges that she was pregnant by Butts at the time that she did disappear. Okay. Jarvis Butts, the man that is accused of sexually assaulting, kidnapping, and unaliving 13-year-old Naziah Harris in Detroit, will face a jury later this year. As I just told you guys, October 6th, as you guys can see here, that was set in court on March the 7th. Okay. Now, Butts is facing charges for first-degree premeditated unaliving, second-degree criminal sexual conduct, and child sexually abusive material. Okay. That is him sitting with the DA. Okay. We already know what happened to Naziah. We've already been through this. Okay. I'll go ahead and read a few of this. I'm not going to read it all because I want to kind of push through this video. It's saying what happened to Naziah. Says that Harris was last seen getting off the bus in Detroit last January. Her disappearance led police to searching areas around Southeast Michigan. Said while Harris's body was never found, prosecutors charged Butts with unaliving and R-wording her in September. Now, when announcing charges against the 41-year-old Wayne County prosecutor, Kim Worthy says that evidence showed that Butts, who knew Harris's family members, allegedly groomed the girl starting in 2022. Harris was pregnant when she was unalived, and Butts was allegedly the unborn child's father. Now, this says in Naziah Harris's disappearance timeline, it says that the prosecutor's office provided a rough timeline of the day that Harris disappeared. Naziah took the bus to school. It said that she had her hair in two braided puffs, clear frame glasses, a white sweater with a black jacket over it, a colorful Rugrats puffy jacket with a fur-lined hood, with light blue jeans and Nike shoes. It says that there is video of Naziah getting on the bus. Naziah used a DPS issued tablet that she used to communicate and communicated with an app. It says that she also took one last picture of herself on the tablet. Using her tablet, she sent a message to a device associated with Jarvis Butts, indicating that they would be meeting up after school, okay, that day. Now, they said that there is video of her getting out of school at the end of the day in the same clothes. It said that she meets up with Butts and a coworker and goes back to their auto repair shop, which is where she was violated multiple times, on Connor in Detroit. Naziah is seen by Butts' sister at the shop, okay, at which her sister, the light-skinned lady that testified on the stand, we covered that as well. Now, Butts, the coworker, and Naziah were together in the coworker's car when they went to, I can't say the word. Yes, what is it? Whatever, Lancey, okay, and then returned to the shop in Connor. So the Butts phone places him at these locations, okay. So at 9:30 p.m. to 12:20 p.m., Butts checked into a hotel. There's a receipt confirming this, as well as his phone being placed, placing him rather at that location. Naziah is never seen again after January 9th of 2024. All right. So other charges against Butts says that Butts also has been charged with sexually abusing two other children who were under the age of 13 at the time. Wayne County prosecutor Kim Worthy said one of the victims, who is now 20 years old, was allegedly abused between April 12th through April 14th, while other victims who is now rather 11 was abused from July 2015 until July 17th. So that's 2 years he was abusing that child. So that he has been charged with 5 counts of second-degree criminal sexual conduct and 1 count of first-degree criminal sexual conduct with those assaults. Court records show that Butts also previously served time in prison for sexually assaulting a child in 2004. Mr. Butts targeted and befriended women to have sexual relationships with their young daughters. According to Kim Worthy, the prosecutor, it says that he was a classic and expert groomer and pedo. He was bound over the trial in those 2 cases last November. They said that what's next is, before his trial begins, that Butts is due in court for a final conference on June 20th. Okay, so you guys have seen that. We played the video of that. Let's get off that and into the next thing. All right. All right, so I'm going to play this as well because I want to give you guys all the info before we get into what's going on with these new developments with Shannon, which is their aunt. Let's go ahead and make that bigger so you guys can see it. All right. Let's get into it.
We turn now to Detroit police, sounding the alarm for the safety of a missing Detroit teenager, Naziah Harris, last seen on January 9th.
Shout out to Detroit ABC News. Shout out to Detroit ABC News.
After leaving school at J.E. Clark Preparatory Academy near Cornwall and 3 Mile. 7 Action News reporter Sarah Michael spoke with family members about their frantic search for the 13-year-old.
Nazia's grandmother tells me that this is where Nazia was last seen, at Cornwall Street and 3 Mile. She tells me that the school bus dropped her off right here on January 9th. What happened next is unknown.
For her to be late, she has never been late.
This lying bitch right here on my screen. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, 'cause I don't read up on all this stuff. So when I see her, knowing that she was also sleeping with Jarvis Butts, which was her two daughters, previous boyfriend, and one of her daughters, father of their children, she too was also allegedly said to be sleeping with Jarvis as well, locked up in rooms with him, and they having sexual contact. Allegedly. Okay, so let's continue. I don't believe anything she says. This is the same bitch who waited 24 hours before she went to report Nazia missing. So when y'all see this right here, honey, pay no attention to this fake concern that she is offering here in the news, because it said that she was allegedly going to be had some charges or something pressed against her if she didn't do a news and or press conference about Nazia. She had already said she didn't want to do it. She didn't even attend a balloon release for Nazia. You're her grandmother, the person who's supposed to be looking for her, the person who's so concerned about her, the person who had custody of her. You didn't even attend her balloon release that they had for her, but you did drive by to see fucking balloons go up. Why do you get out and go and attend and grieve like everyone else for your granddaughter who you were getting money from or for through the state to take care of her, and you weren't watching her, and you were allowing a pedo to come into your home and repeatedly assault this young girl, as you were also laying up with him as well. And he was laying up with your other daughter, Shannon, and he also slept with your other daughter, Makita, which is a twin daughter to Shannon.
Coming home, she's always got permission to do things.
Annette Harris is 13-year-old Nazia Harris's grandmother and legal guardian. When was the last time that you heard from your granddaughter?
When I dropped her off at school, which was on January the 9th.
This is Shannon. These are fake. You don't even see any tears. They have not been looking for Nazia, you guys. I've been following this, and I follow them on social media. So I haven't seen them posting anything. Oh my God, we miss Nazia. We're looking for Nazia. None of that. They're out bowling. They're out living their best life. The grandmother has now since moved from where she's been staying and where she was staying because Child Protective Service continuously kept coming to her house. They removed the children from her that she was watching. The foster children that she was watching, she no longer has those, which now has cut her money. She probably had to get a fucking job. Good for you. Shannon's kids have also been removed as well. I'm gonna show you guys the message where Shannon just talked about that today, where she was ranting and raving on social media. And I'm gonna show you guys the message where she slipped up and said something else that she shouldn't have said, which further lets me know, bitch, that you are in on the disappearance of Nazia Harris, your damn niece, who you say that you love and was out looking for. But then we found out through Roxy, shout out to her, that you were taking up flyers that they were putting down. If you're looking for someone and flyers are being put out to find them, why the fuck are you and your twin sister going behind them taking up the fucking flyers so people cannot go look for her? Because we haven't seen you post anything lately on social media, because I follow you. We haven't seen anything posted about Nazia here lately, because you are living your best life. And this shit just happened barely a year ago. Well, a year ago in a few months. But still, your niece is still missing. They haven't found her. They haven't found her body. But I think you know where she is, because when Roxy went to go and visit you, while you were hiding out at a house with your twin sister and this guy who was trying to get y'all the fuck out of his house, you let it slip up with Roxy that you knew Nazia was pregnant and that you don't think that she is still alive. Well, how would you know that if you don't know where she is? And why are you looking for someone that you know where they are, allegedly? Let's continue. Pay attention to the grandmother as she's giving her testimony here with the news, because she wasn't going to do it until they pretty much pressed her to do it. If your granddaughter's missing, you should be the first bitch at the news station talking about and or asking and soliciting help to find her. Pay attention to Shannon, how she's so removed emotionally from this situation. Grandma fake crying. Shannon don't give a fuck. Watch this.
Nazia is an 8th grader at Clark Elementary School in Detroit.
I want y'all to see this fake shit.
When I dropped her off at school, which was on January the 9th.
Nazia is an 8th grader at Clark Elementary School in Detroit, described as being incredibly sweet and a rule follower. Annette tells me when Neziah didn't come home from school on January 9th, she knew immediately something was wrong and reported her missing the next day. Detroit Public Schools Community District's police department has been handling the investigation. That's until Wednesday, when after a month of fruitless searching for the teen, Detroit Police Department announced that they're taking over.
We're very, very concerned.
Neziah is a very sweet child. She really is. You know, and my biggest fear is somebody hurting her.
We don't believe that initially there was an abduction.
Your biggest fear is somebody hurting her, but you allow a pedo to come into your house to hurt her? Make that make sense. Your biggest fear is someone hurting her, and a grown-ass 41-year-old man is being let inside your house to go down in your basement to sleep with your niece. I mean, your granddaughter, who is 11, 12 years fucking old. Like, hello? You don't think that hurt her to be walking around as 11, 12-year-old carrying a baby in her stomach, stretching her body out at 11 and 12 when she's still developing? Because y'all are not watching her and allowing a known pedo who's already been to jail for pedophilia to come into your home when you lied on the stand and said he was never in there. But you and witnesses have also come forward to say that they've been to your house and seen Jarvis in your fucking house. Oh, girl.
Abduction.
Police say they don't believe Neziah was abducted initially, but when pressed, wouldn't answer if they think she went off with someone willingly. And that tells me that Neziah's school looked at the bus video from January 9th and can see Neziah getting off at her regular stop here.
She got off the bus with her schoolmate and walked up to the corner of Warren and 3 Mile Drive.
Who is this schoolmate? Because when she got off the bus, Neziah was alone. Who is the schoolmate? That's not in pictures. There's no evidence of someone getting off with her. When we saw the picture and or doorbell cam footage of Neziah, she was alone. So who is this person? That's the first I'm hearing this because I've been following this case very closely. Who is the person who got off the bus with Neziah? Because from all the pictures and surveillance videos that we've seen, Neziah was alone. But let's continue.
Right. And one of the school kids said that she turned right instead of turning left. And that's all I know.
Police say they are questioning everyone who knows Neziah. They're working with local, state, and federal partners to look everywhere. If someone is watching right now and they know where Neziah is, what would you like to say to them?
Neziah's life may be in danger and you don't even know it because you're keeping information or trying to keep her hidden because of what you think. Neziah needs to be home with her family and we love her.
If you know anything about Neziah's disappearance or where she may be, you are asked to reach out to Crime Stoppers. You can call them anonymously at 1-800-SPEAK-UP. In Detroit, Sarah Michaels, 7 Action News.
Okay. So your concern is for Neziah, but Shannon, we've seen you in post saying that Neziah was fast and that she was probably out. When people ask, do y'all have any idea in terms of where Neziah could be? Shannon, you said in a post that Neziah could be out getting some dick. That's what you said. That's what you said. You said she was fast and she probably ran away and was out with some dude getting some DICK. That's what you said. Yeah, that's what you said, girl. Let's stop sharing. Let's continue because we got more. That's the grandma with her fake ass. I don't never have nothing for her, honey, because she is a whole liar. All right, so here's the video. Shout out to Shanitra Speaks. All right, because I searched and searched if I could find it somewhere else, but I said I gotta hurry up, baby. We found it right here. We're gonna watch it. Shout out to Shanitra Speaks. Y'all go over and check her out. All right. So this is the video where she Shannon and her sister was found. You guys remember where shout out to Mark 7 Mile went over to the house that they found Shannon and Makita, which are the twins of Neziah. Okay, y'all remember we covered that over here on my channel as well, but just to refresh your memory, we're just going to look at just a little bit of it. Look at how Shannon is so upset of them asking questions about Neziah. Why are you upset when you want her to be found is my question. Okay, there's a lot of inconsistencies in this story. Let's get into it, because this is Roxy right here in the tan coat, and this is Shannon right here talking to Roxy.
This one question I want to ask. Wait a minute. Okay, no.
We're not going to be able to have a conversation, y'all.
I didn't even ask. Hey, excuse me. Okay.
Let's just stop.
This is one question, and then I'm done. From January the 9th till he turned himself in, February 7th.
You and him never talked about this baby being gone. Never,
Larry,
ever
turn that
said
porch off,
nothing.
please.
Not one thing.
I know.
I can't believe that. From the 9th to the 7th,
Shout out again to Shanitra Speaks, all right?
never had one conversation with this motherfucker that should cut his dick off.
You don't have to feed it to him. I'm not going to answer any questions that you don't feel comfortable answering. No,
she don't have to.
It's not.
Why the fuck wouldn't you answer questions about a niece that's missing and people are out here soliciting and looking and bleeding the block trying to find your damn niece and you hiding out in somebody else's house, but you're not going to answer any questions regarding your niece? Does this sound like somebody's looking for their missing niece that they love and want to come home? Does that sound like somebody's looking for their niece? It don't sound like that to me. Why the pushback when people are asking questions about Naziah if you want her to be found and come home? It's giving you already know where the fuck she is because you mentioned in this same video that you knew she was pregnant, and I feel like you helped get rid of her because you were mad that she was sleeping with Jarvis, which is your baby daddy. I think you were jealous of a 12-year-old. I think that you were jealous of Naziah, that she was getting more attention from Jarvis, your baby daddy, who you have 5 kids with. Okay, that's what I think. In my opinion matters on my channel. But that's what I think. I think you know more than you're telling, and I think that you don't want to answer questions because you don't want to slip up and tell something that you guys agreed not to discuss. You, Makita, that grandma, and Jarvis. And speaking of Jarvis, how about she's still putting money on his books? The same person that is alleged to have unalived your niece and impregnated your niece at 12 years old, you are still going down to the jail, Shannon, and putting money on this person's book who is said to have unalived your niece. What sense does that make? And I don't give no fucks if you have 5 children by him. That money should have been kept for your 5 children, not the nigga that is accused of unaliving and impregnating your 12-year-old niece. But you're not going to answer no questions. I just showed you guys the other day where she and her sister just out bowling, all willy-nilly, laughing. They ain't thinking about Naziah. Y'all ain't posting about Naziah. Y'all don't give a fuck about Naziah. Let's continue.
I just wanted to ask. She don't have to answer. I just wanted to ask. Because that was fucking with me.
She's an outsider looking in.
With a 13-year-old daughter.
Yes.
I got a question.
Yes. But your
Why
question.
can't
I can show you how baby look like
why
that
you
baby.
keep coming here?
Excuse me?
Why you keep coming here?
Because I can. This is my sister. If she want me to come over here, I can. You wasn't saying it when you was staying at my house for 2 months because you didn't have a place to stay.
First of all, I don't have people looking for me trying to fuck me.
Who's looking for me, baby? I'm not hiding.
The world.
I'm not hiding.
It looks like it.
How?
You ain't going to work for one, and you over here where you usually don't be. Where nobody will think
what you need to
only
do
thing I
is
wanted to say,
don't
like,
put our job
and then I keep
and what
telling
we
you
got
not to come
going
here,
on.
but you keep coming.
But I can come here as long as my sister say I can come here.
Y'all
If she's
both
inviting me over here, I can.
Shannon is over here at this guy's house that they met on some type of Facebook chat room. That her sister, her twin sister Makita, is supposed to be dating him, and which Shannon also slept with him as well. He slept with both of the twins, mind you. But yeah, so Shannon is there hiding out because Shannon was staying over there with the grandmother, okay? But the block was hot with CPS and the police and everybody coming over there, and she didn't want to answer no questions, so she over there hiding out with said boyfriend and her sister, the twin sister, okay, to avoid questions. And now CPS done snatched her kids up as well because she done so low-key what they call abandoned her kids. So her kids are spread out within the system now while she over there hiding out, sleeping on a mattress on the floor with her damn twin sister hiding out from CPS, the police, and anybody that want to ask her questions about the disappearance of Naziah and why the fuck she's still protecting Jarvis Butts, the person who is said to have unalived her niece and who impregnated her niece. So you don't want to answer questions, but you hiding out somewhere that you're not wanted. You ain't paying no rent. You ain't going to work according to what they just said here. So it sounds like you hiding out.
Disrespectful, nigga.
You're not understanding the situation.
How, nigga? You not even understanding the situation. Your ass to invest in something what you need to do is worry about your son.
Okay.
Worry about your son.
I'm glad he ain't around y'all.
And I'm glad.
The fuck?
I'm glad.
I am
Fuck.
too.
You got
Don't worry about me. You worry about your kids that you have with a pedophile. You worry about your kids and that pedophile.
I ain't fucking
The fuck?
Shit, you wasn't saying
I got one. You got
When
five.
she was missing, can I ask you something?
Motherfucking weed, what?
When she went missing, why would you say she might just be out fucking?
Everything that I said is that's what we got from her friends. Everything that we got from what I said came from her friends. So I just repeated it. That's what they said.
Shout out to 7 Mile. Mark 7 Mile. Listen to what Mark just asked her. The same thing I just said that Shannon said on her Facebook, on her Facebook. When they were asking her, where is Naziah? She's saying now she heard it from her friends. Now, you didn't hear it from Naziah's friends, bitch. You said it on your Facebook that Naziah probably ain't missing. She just out getting some DICK. That's what you said. And you also went on to say that she was fast. That's
everything that we got from what I said.
Let me back it up small.
Everything that I said is that's
Mark 7 Mile asking her. Check it out.
Shit, you wasn't saying
I got one. You got five.
When she was missing, can I ask you something?
Motherfucking weed, what?
When she went missing, why would you say she might just be out fucking?
Everything that I said is that's what we got from her friends. Everything that we got from what I said came from her friends. So I just repeated it. That's what they said.
That's what you put on your Facebook, sis.
Yeah.
Because I saw it, because I follow her.
What she's not gonna do is try to bogart whatsoever.
When you look at the world, what do you see?
That's it. Child, it's the lies for me. All right, so let's stop sharing. All right, because there's more. Let's get into these damn receipts that I found. Okay, let me make sure I got everything. What's that? Oh, yeah, I want to show just a little bit of Shannon's testimony and how nonchalant she is with her niece being missing. This is Shannon. All right, I'm gonna show just a little bit. We're gonna look at all of it because it's kind of long. I don't want to be on this shit all day. Okay, I'm gonna hit this and quit and get on up out of here because I got some more shit I gotta do. All right, let's get into it. Shout out to Justice is a Process. Okay. All right, so this is the preliminary hearing for the Naziah case. All right. It says the unaliving case of missing Detroit teen, which we all know to be Naziah. So Michigan versus Jarvin Butts. Let's get into just a little bit of Shannon's testimony, how she lies on the stand and how she's very nonchalant about the questions that's being asked. Now, one time did she become emotional when they ask her questions that should be very near and dear to her. If you love your niece as you say you do, we didn't see you be emotional. We didn't see you say, oh my God, give me a minute. I need a minute because this is right here. It's a lot. We just, lost my niece. I don't know where she is. Da, 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 da. We didn't see any of that. You just sat there straight faced like, okay, I'll be glad when this shit is over. Okay. If my niece is missing somebody that I love and I'm looking for, I'm going to have some emotion. Let's get into it.
Raise your right hand.
Did you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. Watch yourself, please. Have a seat.
When speaking through this mic, you also pick it up and hold it in your lap.
Whenever you're ready, Mrs. Ripley.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning. Could you please state your name for the record?
Shannon Harris,
And Ms. Harris, how old are you?
31.
And back on January, or in January 2024, where did you live?
With my mom. Resides with my mother.
With your mother? Okay, who's your mom?
Annette Harris,
And without telling me the exact address, what street did you live on?
Bedford.
And do you have any children?
Yes,
How many kids do you have?
5.
And do all your kids have the same dad?
Yes,
Who's their dad?
Jarvis Butts.
If every time you see an ad, you just want to, how you.
My apologies for the ads. I have no control over the ads. All right, let's get back to it.
And do you see Jarvis Butts in the courtroom today?
Yes,
And can you point to him and tell me the color of the clothing that he's wearing?
green, blue, whatever. Green.
Green. Your Honor, would the record reflect the witnesses identified the defendant in this case?
So reflected.
Thank you, Judge. And you said your mom's name is Annette. Do you have any sisters?
Yes, 2.
What are their names?
Kenyatta Harris and Marquita Harris.
Are they older, younger, something else?
Kenyatta is Naziah's mother, okay? Kenyatta is Naziah's mother, and Makita is her twin sister, okay? For those of you that don't know.
Oh, there. Marquita is a twin. She's my twin, same age.
Okay. And Kenyatta's older?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any nieces or nephews?
Yes.
Do you know someone named Naziah Harris?
Yes.
What's your relationship to her?
My relationship to her, she is my niece. I'm her aunt.
Okay. And whose daughter is she?
My older sister is Kenyatta Harris.
Okay. And did you have any nicknames for Naziah?
Yes. We all called her Tudda.
And is that Tudda?
Yes.
And
no emotion.
Did Naziah ever know Jarvis through you?
Yes.
Okay. And when did Naziah and Jarvis first meet?
When she was little, like age 2.
And
all right, so y'all hear that? Jarvis first met Naziah when she was 2 years old. Do you guys think that he waited until she was 12 to start violating her? I think he's been violating her since she was 2 years old, because that's what he preys upon, children who are helpless, who can't really speak and or tell what's going on. I feel like he was probably doing some inappropriate touching at 2 years old. They allowed him, knowing that he was a pedo, to be around a 2-year-old child. And then Shannon turned around and had fired by him. 2 years old. He's known Naziah since 2 years old. So my belief is that he was violating her from age 2 up to, what was he, 12? Going on 13 years old? That's a long time. That's a long time. I feel like he might have been doing some violations and inappropriate touchings when she was 2, because that's when he met her.
Can you kind of describe the relationship between Naziah and Jarvis?
Should be just the uncle and the niece relationship, no more than that.
Look at the judge.
How often would Jarvis be around, like at your house with you?
He will call or say, can he come and see the kids? Or the kids will ask him to see their dad, and he will come pull up either to my house where I used to live or at my mother's house.
Would Naziah ever be around?
All the kids would be around.
To your knowledge, would Naziah ever text Jarvis?
From my knowledge, no, unless I will have her to text.
But to your knowledge, you didn't know of any kind of separate outside relationship?
No.
Why would she have Naziah texting her man? Why would Naziah be texting a 41-year-old person or man, your baby daddy? Why would you have her texting your baby daddy is the question, when you know he's a pedo?
Would there ever be times where, where did you know Jarvis loves to work?
Pardon?
Where did you know Jarvis loves to work?
Where did I know him to work at?
Yes.
Now, notice, okay, let me just say this. This is something that I noticed. Anytime someone asks you a question and you know you heard them and you repeat what they're asking you, that's giving you time to come up with a lie. Okay? I read body language very well. I done told y'all. Okay? If somebody asks you a question you know the answer to, usually the answer just comes out. But if you got to repeat what said person just asked you, you're coming up with your lie. That's how I see it. Okay? Let's continue though.
He worked at 2 different locations. The first location would be on East Warren, and the other location would be on Gratiot and Connor.
And what were those locations?
Those are the auto repair shop.
Okay. Would you ever know Naziah to help Jarvis Butts at his shop?
Yes, he will call me and say, hey, if I can get our daughter and Naziah come and work up at the shop. And I would say, let me ask my mom first regarding Naziah.
So you lended your daughter, his birth child, and your niece to go to a shop when you got sons, mind you. You have nephews. So instead of you saying, would you like your nephews to come help you at the shop? He solicited, he asked if Naziah, who he was sleeping with at the time, and your daughter, your oldest daughter, who was always seen with Naziah in TikTok videos, if they could come and help out at the shop. Now, what, pray tell, would a 13-year-old and a 12-year-old, or maybe 11 at the time, be doing at a auto body shop? Because all the videos that I've seen, they were walking around barefoot doing TikTok video dances. I ain't seen them doing no work. Okay. And from what we do know, that there was a room in there with a little makeshift bed, or cot to be exact, where it was said that twice your own daughter, Shannon, walked in on Jarvis and Naziah in the act of sex. And there was some inappropriate touching as well from Jarvis to his own birth child, your daughter, Shannon, allegedly. But every time he would call and solicit them to come to the shop to work, was that the code word for fuck? We gotta be raw. I'm sorry. When you know that you have children by a pedo, a known pedo who's also been convicted before he even got with you and your sister, you knew at the age of 16 that he was a pedo, because you said, in terms of what you said, and into your own testimony, that you knew that he told you what his charges were. He told you who he was and what he went to prison for, but you didn't care, because you said, why continue to hold something over somebody's head after they paid their debt to society? So you knew who this person was at age 16, but you still decided to deal with him, sleep with him, but you keep switching the number of how old you were when you met him. You said at 17, 18, to make it seem like you were an adult, so they wouldn't look like Jarvis was also being inappropriate with you because you were a child. You were 16, and so was your sister Marquita when Jarvis started sleeping with the two of you. But you didn't want people to know that, because you don't want your baby daddy to look like the pedo that he is, because you're still protecting him, you're still financing him, and you're mad as fuck that he's locked up and being charged for something that that you feel Naziah got herself caught up into, because you felt like she was fast, versus the motherfucker who's already an adult, 41 years old, who's also been known to have violated a 4-year-old and gave her an STD as well. Never mind that stuff. You're blaming a 12, 13-year-old child who got pregnant by your baby daddy and running around telling everybody she's fast. But what about the motherfucker that did it? He groomed her, just like he groomed you. That same pedophilia spirit that traveled through him was also traveling through you too, Shannon, because your own niece, not Naziah, another one of your nieces came forward, Sierra to be exact. I know my shit over here because I don't follow this shit. I don't read up on it. I ain't even got to look at no notes. Your own niece Sierra did an interview with 7 Mile Radio and said that you and your sister Makita was also being having pedophilia ways towards her as well, touching her inappropriately and making her do things as a child that she didn't want to do. Now, my question is, was the same thing happening to Naziah? Because she also lived in the same house with you and that grandmother who was also sleeping with Jarvis. Hello? Somebody's guilty. And I think when that trial starts October the 6th, it's going to be some asses locked up, not just Jarvis. Because there's a certain thing called guilty by association. If you allowed a known pedo to come into your home and violate a minor, you are just as guilty as the person that did it. Grandma, you too. And I don't give a fuck how many times you move, the charges are still there. Your job as her aunt and grandmother was to protect and provide for Naziah. You didn't do either of those things, because every time he called and asked her to come to that shop, you knew what he was calling for. But to satisfy him and not argue with him, because Jarvis was one of those types that would cuss your ass out if you questioned him and came against what he wanted, because we've already heard it on video when he did it to another one of his baby mamas, because he only had 20 women that he was screwing and seeing in Detroit besides you, Shannon. And you, according to your testimony, you knew about all the women he was messing with. So now I question your pH balance, bitch. The nigga is running up and through 20 other women. And for some odd reason, you feel because you had 5 by him that you might be the main chick when he ain't never gave your ass a fucking ring, but he gave another bitch across town a ring. You done spit out 5 kids for this boy, but he done gave somebody else a ring. But you still putting money on his books, and he done proposed to another bitch and not you. Make that make sense. Let's continue. Child. What is going on? Let's continue. We're going to look at it a little bit more, then I'm going to stop it.
And which daughter of yours would that be?
That would be my oldest, Janiyah.
Would you ever know Neziah to go to Jarvis's shop alone?
No.
Whose birthday is on or around September 26th?
That's my oldest, my 4th oldest birthday.
Okay. Do you recall a birthday party on September 26th of 2022?
Yes.
Okay. And was Jarvis there?
No.
Okay. And that would have been his son's birthday party?
Yes.
Were there ever times that you would text Jarvis off of a text now number?
Only time I would text Jarvis off a text now number is if my phone is off. Other than that, no.
And do you recall the numbers that you would text Jarvis from?
Yes.
Okay. And does a 586-510-5161 sound familiar?
Yes.
And what number is that?
That used to be my old number.
So let me tell y'all what she's doing. Okay. So I've already listened to all of this. This is my take on what I feel. Now, my investigative mind is kicking in. Okay. Shannon's has several phones. I feel like Shannon is getting rid of phones because there's evidence in there that she knows is connected directly to Neziah in this case. So why would one need to get rid of several phones? Why do you need 3-4 phones within a very short span of time with inappropriate text messages that police can go right there and pull up regardless to you getting rid of the phone? Even if it's a burner phone, they don't give a fuck. They can still pull those messages. The police, the FBI, they can go through, they can tell you what's on your phone and not even have your phone from the fucking police station. Did you know that? Even if you delete it, they can still retrieve those messages. So Shannon felt like by getting rid of said phones, because if you guys hear in her testimony, she's gotten rid of several phones because she knows that Jarvis was sending messages inappropriate to Neziah, as well as pictures being exchanged of him sending her DICK pics and she sending pictures of her body to Jarvis, which was highly inappropriate and illegal. So Shannon was getting rid of phones that she allowed Neziah to use her phone because of evidence in there. Once this case became public, she started getting rid of evidence to protect Jarvis. That's the only reason she got rid of these phones. Let's go.
And is that number that you would text Jarvis from?
Yes.
Okay. And what about a 586-842-4504?
That was the number before this number.
Before the 510 number?
Correct.
How many phones do one need? That's the number before that one. The other phone, yeah, I don't have that phone anymore. Why you need all these numbers? Weird. That's weird, right? Who has
that number you would also text Jarvis from?
Correct.
Most people just change their number, not phones. Like, are you breaking that many phones? Like, what kind of phone is this? Because the last phone that I did see you on social media was an iPhone. So what kind of phones are you using that you got to keep changing the phone? And if you have an iPhone and these other, like, even if it's an Android, your information from one phone transfers over to another phone, does it not? I mean, do it not? Whenever you go get a new phone, for those of you to get new phones, I do. Go to the T-Mobile place. You upload get your new phone, activate that phone, and your everything from your old phone uploads to your new phone. Contacts, pictures, etc., email, whatever the fuck you got in there. Any apps that you have on there, all that shit is transferred over to the new phone. That's called what? Technology. So why must one get a new phone that close together after, coincidentally, Jarvis is caught messing with Neziah? Let's continue. Weird. That's weird.
And What number did you have for Jarvis Butts?
The 313-585-8719.
And did you have any numbers for Neziah?
It was a funny looking area code. The area code was a 231.
Okay.
If you've been waiting to apply for disability benefits,
some good stuff here, honey. I always like to go back sometime and look at stuff because then it kind of opens your eyes to what's really, really going on. Let's see.
I want to show you some messages from People's Exhibit 16.
All right, so pay attention to the DA coming over to show Shannon these messages, inappropriate messages to be exact, by Neziah and Jarvis. Pay attention to her disposition while these messages are being read, and she's acknowledging that she sees these messages and that they were in said device. All right, pay attention to this.
And ask you some questions about them, okay?
Okay.
You're in a mad approach?
Yes.
I'm going to direct you to messages on or about June 27th of 2023. Do you recall those messages? Did you send any of those messages to Jarvis Butts?
No.
Okay. And do you know, I believe there's a phone number here that's highlighted. Whose phone number do you know that to be?
Jarvis Butts.
Okay. And you don't recall ever sending any of those messages?
No.
Okay. And now I want to direct you to messages from June 28th of 2023. How about any of these? Did you send any of these to Jarvis Butts?
No.
What about any messages from July 2nd of 2023? Did you send any of those messages?
No.
Damn, how many messages is it? Okay.
What about messages from August 26th of 2023? Did you send any of those to Jarvis Butts?
I'm sorry, was the 26th?
August 26th.
No. These aren't my messages.
No emotion. No emotion.
Did Jarvis Butts ever tell you that Neziah texted him to meet up on January 9th, 2024?
No.
Did you tell Jarvis Butts about not being able to locate Neziah on January 9th, 2024?
Yes.
And tell me, how did you tell him that?
I called him. He didn't answer. I sent him a message asking him, have he seen Tuda, any whereabouts? And I said no Tuda, and he responded back. a
I
while.
didn't hear what you said. The last part.
Last part, I had, I texted him. Well, at first I called him. He didn't answer. The second time I sent him a message, still no Twitter. He replied back a while.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And
She asked, how did you tell him that that Naziah was missing? She says, first I called him, he didn't answer. The second time, and then next I text him, still no Twitter. What would that mean? Because you still haven't told him yet that she was missing. Did y'all catch that? Did anybody except me just catch that? The DA asked Shannon, how did you tell Jarvis that Naziah was missing on January the 9th of 2024? Shannon responded by saying, first I called him, he didn't answer. Then I texted him, still no Twitter, and he said, oh, wow. What's the oh, wow? Because you don't know what's going on, correct? If somebody send me still no caramel, I'm be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Still no, what do you mean? The next thing you're going to ask is, what are you talking about? And where could this person be? Are you saying that they're missing? Like, there's no conversation back and forth, which tells me that that the fact that you called him, he didn't answer because he was probably with another bitch. 2, when you text him still no Twitter, lets me know that he knew she was already missing and you were covering your tracks just in case you get questioned that there was a conversation that you had already let him know, or that you two had already had a conversation that y'all were looking for her, or that you guys were concerned about her to cover said tracks. Because there's no conversation back and forth between you and Jarvis about where the fuck she is. The DA just asked her, how did you tell Jarvis that Naziah was missing? There was no conversation. You only text him, still no Twitter. He responded, wow. Where would she be? What are you talking about? You knew that he picked her up that day to take her to the shop, and they haven't seen her since. So why the fuck are you texting him still no Twitter versus where the fuck is Twitter? That would have been my question if that was my niece. Y'all see what I'm talking about? She's covering shit, and you see the judge writing. Pay attention, because I pay attention to everything. I don't miss shit. Notice throughout the testimony here, all the questions that they're asking her, the judge is sitting and listening. During the time that she knows that Shannon is lying, she's making a lot of notes, because guess what she's going to do on October the 6th? She's going to spin the block on all this shit that they asking you right now, because it makes no sense. If I'm having a conversation with someone and I'm trying to figure out where said person is, there will be conversation. That's conversation of two people talking. I'm asking you a question, or I'm telling you something with the anticipation of you responding to me in terms of what I asked you. But that wasn't happening in said conversation. Does he have some type of, I don't know, X-ray vision or some type of magical powers to automatically know what you mean when you say still no Twitter, when he doesn't even know she's fucking missing? Okay. Notice the judge. Because the judge said, I didn't hear what you said. Say that again. Say that again. Because you know your ass is fucking lying. We get ready to get off this. Covering for a nigga who unalived your niece.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
And
They got
record
your ass.
references.
They got
I'm showing
your
what's
ass,
gonna be
baby.
Proposed People's Exhibit 48. Ms. Harris, those text messages that you just referenced, do you see those on this page?
Yes.
Okay. And so it's fair to say you stated to Mr. Butts, well, first of all, whose phone number is this at the top?
The phone number is my old telephone number.
Okay. And who is the phone number below that?
Jarvis Butts.
Okay.
old phone number.
And is this, I guess, do these fairly and accurately represent these two messages? 3, 4, 5.
So you seen the inappropriate messages because you got rid of the phone.
6 messages sent between you and Mr. Butts on January 9th, 2024 through January 11th, 2024.
The first page is, yes, it's correct.
The judge.
Second page is correct.
She can't believe that they got these fucking messages. That's why she's sitting here like, oh shit, I got rid of this phone. How the fuck they get all these messages from my old phone? They got your ass.
Yes.
Okay. And so on January 9th, like you had indicated before, you had stated that you told them that there was still no ton up.
Correct.
Okay. And you said he responded, oh, wow.
Correct.
Okay. And on January 11th, was Nuzaya still missing?
Yes.
Okay. And did you ask Mr. Butts to do something?
At this point, I just asked that if she's going to read from the text message, just admit the exhibit.
I can.
Issue with moving to admit?
No, Judge. Do these fairly and accurately represent text messages between you and your phone to Jarvis and his phone between?
This is just a preliminary hearing. The judge is not questioning her. The only thing the judge is saying to her, like, if I don't understand what you're saying, to like say what you're saying again or speak up so that I can hear what you're saying. The only people that are questioning her in the preliminary hearing are the prosecutors. Okay. But somebody that was asking in, I think it was Rose Armstead. Yeah. So the only people that are questioning her right now are the prosecutors. They're laying out the case in terms of evidence of text messages, testimonies, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So these are messages that were in her old phone that she got rid of that she won't count in on the DA and the cops pulling up to read back to her ass in court. That's what this shit is. Okay.
Let's start back earlier. Some from December 3rd, 2023 through January 21st of 2024. These fairly and accurately represent text messages between you and your phone to Mr. Butts and his phone?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I move for the admission.
Now we know that Jarvis does ask people to get rid of evidence because he asked the guy, King, who worked at the shop with him. When Jarvis got caught, he was heard on said phone call to King, okay, his shop buddy, to get rid of a phone that was in the white Escalade. Why do you need to get rid of a phone? Because there's fucking evidence in there. And that's why I believe Shannon was getting rid of phones, because she was counting on not having that evidence brought back up and trying to cover for Jarvis. And he probably told her to do that. Get rid of that phone and get another phone, bitch, because I'm going to be locked up. I feel like he did. I feel like she got rid of those phones on the strength of Jarvis asking, because he also asked King in a recorded phone, because y'all know all jail phone calls are recorded, correct? So why are you on a jail phone call telling King to get rid of a fucking phone inside of the white Escalade? Because they were also looking for said Escalade to search it, and he didn't want them to find that phone because inappropriate text messages, pictures, and conversations were in that phone between he and Nuzaya. So Shannon done had 3 or 4 phones that she done got rid of.
Of People's Proposed Exhibit 48. Objection.
Thank you,
Judge. So on January 11th, did you ask Mr. Butts to do something?
Yes.
And what is it that you asked him to do?
I asked him, can he share the missing flyer on his Facebook page?
Okay. And did you send him a copy of that missing flyer?
Yes.
Okay. And
why would he need to share said flyer of Nuzaya when he knows where she is, allegedly? And you too. Huh. Weird.
to backtrack just a little bit, on December 3rd, 2023, do you recall sending messages asking Mr. Butts if he needed Nuzaya for anything?
Yes, I do remember.
Okay. So do you remember this text on the first?
So were you guys pimping out Nuzaya? Because there's a point in time in this case that it was mentioned that Jarvis was calling you to ask for Naziah and your daughter to come to the shop. Now you are calling him to solicit Naziah coming to the shop for whatever reason. So you have already admitted that Naziah was fast and probably out getting some DICK, but now you're calling him and asking him, do he need Naziah? What the fuck would Naziah be doing at an auto body shop? Does that sound a little weird?
Page of People's Exhibit 48.
Yes, I do remember this message.
Okay. And did you send that message?
Yes.
Okay. And what did the message say?
Tilla said, do you still need her too?
Okay. And do you know where's that referring to?
It was Tilla had asked me to contact Jarvis and see if he still needed them to clean up.
Okay. And that would be to clean up his shop?
Yes.
Okay. And to fast forward, on January 21st, 2024, you sent some messages to Mr. Butts. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. And can you read these last 3 messages?
We're going to stop it here.
These last 3 messages is, to be honest, these messages I seen into the inbox to you, I really don't know what to believe anymore. Stay away, Ramon, I mean it. The next message is, I don't know what to say, or Tilla is on. Says, this shit doesn't sit right with me. Call it what you want. I'm good, period. It says, this for life. Nigga, I thought about it, and you can pass it.
So she's admitting right here, she knew the relationship between Jarvis and Naziah. She knew about it. She knew that Jarvis was sleeping with and messing with Naziah. I feel like she offered Naziah in order to keep Jarvis. Jarvis had 20 other women, and he was able to meet said women that had children because that was feeding his desire of pedophilia. She did no different because she offered Naziah as well as her own daughter. Why? To keep Jarvis around. Because the only way he would stay around is if someone had children. So she had 5 to make sure that Jarvis would always be with her, that she could always, because she had them back to back too. She had 5 children to offer to Jarvis. The only type of women Jarvis liked were women with children. He only dated women with children, with the exception of one, and that's the girl that he was going with that was driving the bus, but she still had access to children. Shannon is very much so in this shit as well. She knew that Jarvis was sleeping with Naziah because you called him to ask him if he needed Naziah to come clean. That's the code word. What I already told y'all what it meant. And he also asked for your daughter. And you sent your daughter along with Naziah, knowing that the same person that you said told you everything about him and what his charges were for, and how he actually assaulted a 4-year-old and gave that same 4-year-old chlamydia, as well as another young child. You knew about this. You knew his capability of doing the same thing to Naziah and your own daughter, and you still sent them over there. You sacrificed and offered your children up in order to keep a man. That's exactly what you did. Y'all turned your head when Jarvis came in that house and went down in that basement and slept with Naziah. Because she also said in another text message, hurry up and give me what you came over here to give me. And so you can go up there and give Shannon some so she can stop damn fucking arguing. So he was sleeping with Naziah, Shannon, and the grandmother, all in the same motherfucking house, and inappropriately touching and probably sleeping with their daughter. Did y'all know that? Let's get into these messages. Then we got to get out of here. Let's get into these messages. Shannon. Ooh, child. This is so juicy. Okay. All right. So I have a few pictures that I uploaded. Okay. That I uploaded. All right. So let's go ahead and look at these. These are pieces of evidence from social media where Shannon's been running her damn mouth. And all of these things, of course, will be probably sent over to the DA. Maybe by me. I don't know. Shit. Because it's evidence that the bitch knows more than she is saying. All right, so here she is on her stories. Okay. As you guys can see, Shannon Harris, 1 hour ago. All right, says the children, one thing we can't control is who we love, but can control who we are around. The world has malice from the events that unfolded from the court records and court videos. If they are false, make it right. At the end of the day, it is about Naziah. So that everybody needs to listen. Don't DM me about nothing. Tutter, I don't want to hear it at all. So she don't want to hear anything about Naziah, honey. She's over hearing about Naziah. You know why? Because she's mad about them fucking text messages. Because your man was more in love with your 12-year-old niece than you. And it hurts you to hear Naziah's name because you were competing with a 12-year-old as a grown-ass 31-year-old woman, and your ass couldn't compete because he wanted her more than you. That's why you don't give a fuck where she is, because you in your feelings that the nigga up and played you to the left for a 12-year-old. Let's continue. Here's that nasty bastard. Let's go ahead and put his fucking picture up there. That's Jarvis with his pedophilia ass. Let's continue. There's more, honey. Of course, y'all remember this video that we showed of Shannon and Makita. That's Shannon. That's Makita, her twin sister. They sleeping on a floor, on a fucking mattress on the floor with blankets up to the window, hiding out with a nigga they met on Facebook chat that they both were sleeping with, mind you. Okay, let's continue. Because we're going to look at all of these messages that I screenshotted. And I hope the police see this shit too. All right, so here is Shannon, because that is who she is on Facebook. Says, continue to take pictures. I wish a biatch or a nigga would. Try it if you want to. You love your life, don't you? That's a threat. Made a Facebook haven't paid y'all clout chasing ass biatches, okay? Here she is. First of all, Roxy, my sister didn't get arrested for Naziah, so stop fucking lying. Now go ahead and share that and screenshot that shit, okay? There she go. Oh, she got a real slick mouth, honey. Oh, she got a real slick mouth. Yes, she does. So here she is again. Now, this was on February 22nd, but I'm just showing you the mindset and the slick mouth that her ass got. Okay, for somebody who's supposed to be looking for their niece and care so much about their niece. Here she is. Since you all seem to be struggling with the concept, let me help clarify. By state, by state law, personal refrigerators can have locks and chains as long as children have access to their fridge at all times. Good morning. Here she is. Like I said, you clout chasing assholes. I stand 10 toes down on what the F I said. Like and share that. Okay, so she don't give a fuck. Now, you guys know that there were pictures floating around of chains on the refrigerators, that's plural, in the grandmother's house. And people were saying, why the fuck is there chains on there? She's saying that according to the law, that she can have a chain on her damn refrigerator as long as the other chains are not on said refrigerator and the children have access to the food. Well, bitch, did you not see the pictures of the other 3 refrigerators in y'all fucking house with chains on them? So you got a chain on your personal refrigerator, and all the other 3 refrigerators that were seen in the home, I shared it on my channel, had chains. Naziah is solving her fucking case from the grave. You know why? Because she was doing TikTok dancing videos, and in the back of the fucking video was a refrigerator and another refrigerator with fucking chains on it. But you want to sit up here and get smart with somebody about some fucking chains and what the law say, bitch. No, you don't have. Why would you need to chain refrigerators? Children should be able to go to the refrigerator and get what the fuck they want. If they thirsty, they should be able to get some water. If they ask, hey, grandma, can I get some water, juice, whatever, Capri Sun, whatever. So why are there chains on 3 refrigerators, which is supposed to be for everyone in the house? If you got a personal one, okay. But why are chains on the refrigerators in the house with the other kids? That's what I don't understand. All right, so let's continue. There's more. All right, so here's Shannon. My niece would be home if I only knew her location, which you do. Says, but one thing for sure, don't try to malign my reputation by painting an untrue picture of who I am, okay? Then she put a God quote, and I ain't reading that shit because I'm like, girl. Do you even know what God is? Do you even know who God is? I ain't about to read that shit. All right, so this is the missing flyer that was out about Neziah, okay? Y'all pardon me for clicking, okay? It says that we want to thank the community. This is what Shannon is saying. We want to thank this is the police department saying we want to thank the community for the many tips that we have received. However, the investigation and search for Neziah continues, blah, blah, blah. All right, so this is the flyer that was put out from Detroit Police Department for Neziah when she went missing, okay? Let's continue. I just pulled some stuff so y'all can kind of see what's going on here. All right, so here's one. Okay, this was a day ago. Said that why this family don't post Neziah. So Shannon is posting all of her kids. Okay, Shannon's posting all her kids. Not once has she posted anything about Neziah. So people, just random people who are going in her comments saying, hey, why don't she ever post Neziah? If you're thinking about your niece, you want her to come home, you want people to remember that she's missing, why are you not posting anything about Neziah? Why don't we see that? So Shannon replies by saying, Neziah ain't my child. Now get off my page. So another person responded by saying, girl, that's your niece. Do y'all not love her? What's really wrong here? Okay. And it says that she is so beautiful. So they're talking about Shannon's daughter that she has with Jarvis. Okay. The same one that she was sending over there to be touched. That one. All right. So let's get into the message that I really want y'all to see. This one happened today. And I'm still mind boggled. This is what Shannon had to say. I need y'all irritating ass people to quit messaging me with threats and things saying that my babies that I posted are Neziah's babies and shit. I'm not worried about Neziah. Those are my kids. Leave me alone. Yes, they are in CPS. Yes, I have to fight in court to get them back. And yes, everything, just leave me the fuck alone. So CPS have come to snatch her children. As you guys can see in all caps. I'm not worried about Neziah. Those are my kids. Leave me the fuck alone. Yes, they are in CPS. Yes, I have to fight in court to get them back. Yes, everything. Just leave me the fuck alone. This is what she just posted. This is your niece who's missing. This is what she just posted. You don't give a fuck about Neziah. Is what you said. Just like you lied and said that you didn't say Neziah was fast and was probably out looking for some DICK. A 12-year-old child who is missing, your niece. That pressure. Pressure break pipes, don't it? They putting that pressure on that ass. You running and hiding, you done lost all this weight, stressed the fuck out. But then you slip up and say something very, very suspicious. A person who loves another person, especially a child who is missing, who everybody's been looking for over a year now. Finally, your real feelings come out. I'm gonna read it one more time. I need y'all irritating ass people to quit messaging me with threats and things saying that my babies that I posted are Neziah's babies and shit. I'm not worried about Neziah. Those are my kids. Leave me alone. Yes, they are in CPS. And yes, I have to fight in court to get them back. Yes, everything. Just leave me the fuck alone. That's what you said. I hope the police see this shit. Or maybe I can forward it to them. I might do that. Yeah, I might do that. All these little messages. Maybe we'll put all these in a good old email and just transfer them on over to Detroit Police Department. So maybe they can see just how much you're really caring about and are looking for your niece, who you say you don't give a fuck about. Which further lets me know that you know a little bit more than you're saying. And two, I feel like you might have had something to do with her disappearance out of anger that she got pregnant by the nigga that you are still out here putting money on his fucking books. Knowing that he was sleeping with your niece, knowing that he possibly and allegedly unalived your niece, because that's what he's been charged for. It was premeditated because it said that he went to the store to get antifreeze to make her drink it in order to get rid of said baby. She asked for a plan B. The nigga went and got some antifreeze, some red antifreeze. To get rid of a baby. I feel like that's not the first time she's ever been pregnant by him. Because how the fuck she know about plan B and all this other stuff at 12 years old? Now, I know teenagers and preteens talk in school. A lot of these kids are a little more well advanced for their age. But in my mind, I feel like if he's been messing with her, if he's known her since age 2, I feel like that he's been sleeping with her way longer than the media is saying, just because of the type of person he is. He is a pedophile. If you mess with a 4-year-old, bitch, you will mess with a 2-year-old. And at the end of the day, I feel like he was sleeping with her longer than what they're trying to say from 20, what? I think they said he met her in 2012. Nah, I feel like 2020, what? She went missing 2020, 2024, 2022. I think it's when they was saying that the relationship began. Bullshit. You knew her since she was 2 years old. You sleeping with her longer than that. I feel like she's been pregnant before because she knew exactly what to do and what to ask for when she got pregnant this last time. I feel like they were able to get rid of the other baby by the plan B. But this time it went too far. She was too far gone. That's why he was pissed. That's why he stopped responding to her when she told him the last time she had her cycle, which then put her at 4 months pregnant. You can't do shit with you cannot get rid of no baby no 4 months like that. You having that baby. Oh, you having that baby. Plus, she had a doctor's appointment coming up, and he panicked because they're going to do blood work. And once they do blood work, they're going to find out that she was carrying a child. The second question is, who impregnated a 12-year-old? Because you are the pedophile who's been around. So it was going to come back to you. So I feel like they all devised a plan to get rid of Naziah, which they saw as the problem, because with Jarvis being around, Jarvis was giving Shannon money for 5 children. She don't work. So I feel like she was in on it as well to get rid of Naziah, because she was about to fuck up your money. Your little child support. Jarvis worked at 2 shops. He was getting paid pretty good money from what I'm hearing. And he was doing some shit on the side, I heard. So in an effort not to fuck up your money, you saw Naziah as the problem. So what did you do? I feel like Jarvis did the dirty work and you helped cover it up. But what you weren't counting on was those fucking text messages popping back up in court from 2 phones that you got rid of, probably at Jarvis asking you to do it, to help cover up his bullshit, because you knew and you read the text message off to the DA saying, I'm done with you, Ramon, because that's his middle name, Jarvis Ramon Butts. I'm done with you. I can't believe this. You know, it's not verbatim, but y'all know. She was hurt. She was mad. She knew that child was pregnant. She told Roxy in the video that Naziah was about 4 months pregnant the last time she saw her. So they knew. They knew. They knew that this girl was pregnant prior to her disappearance. But they covered it up. Did anybody go to the police and say, hey, my niece is pregnant. She's 12 years old by my baby daddy? You didn't do that. Why? Because you were covering up for him. You didn't want to fuck up your money. You didn't want him to lose that child support for 5 children that your ass don't have right now, because CPS done came and snatched them from you. And they also snatched those other children up from DSS. Those foster kids. All those kids that we saw the grandma cussing out. And she's supposed to be God-fearing in church. Her. With the fake-ass press conference with no tears. The one that didn't go to the balloon release of your granddaughter who was missing. Who you knew was pregnant when she went missing. So not only are you losing a granddaughter, but she's also carrying a child, which makes that another grandchild. So 2, and you still have not cried about that shit. Shannon still have not said anything, because 2 nieces or nephew, a niece and maybe a nephew or niece is missing now. But you don't give a fuck, because that child was going to be born by the person that you're protecting. That's fucked up. That's very fucked up. Y'all see the message right there. That is recent. That happened today, where she got into it with somebody on social media, and Shannon typed out right there, as you guys can see, Shannon Harris, that's her name, that's her profile, that she don't give a fuck about Naziah. She ain't worried about Naziah. People are just trying to get her to confess and say, hey, where is she? Everybody been looking for the girl. Everybody's taking this case to heart. But now you said, I don't give a fuck about no damn Desire. I'm trying to get my kids back. I want my kids back. Do you? Because you left your kids, you abandoned your kids. You abandoned your kids to go hide out with your twin sister, but you trying to get your kids back. Oh, okay. I don't think you will. Because now everybody knows that you allowed a pedophile to be around your children, even though he is their father. Even though he's a registered SEX offender. I don't give a fuck if they are his children. He's not supposed to be around children. He ain't supposed to be in no fucking school zone. So he done been to Nazia's school several times to pick her up, and y'all knew about it. And he is a registered SEX offender who's not even supposed to be in a fucking school zone. But y'all knew about that shit. That's why you reported that shit the day after. 24 hours. Everybody went to bed after y'all found out Nazia was missing and reported that shit the next day to a resource officer who was what? Retiring the next day. He talked about it as well. You reported that to somebody who didn't give a fuck because they were getting ready to be out of there. They were getting ready to retire from their job. So they weren't really invested in terms of taking no damn report and doing all that shit. Y'all know if that's the last day of y'all job, you ain't gonna work as hard. Knowing that you about to retire, you're like, fuck this job. I ain't about to really do no thorough report on this shit. Who goes to bed and wait 24 hours when they know their pregnant niece is out missing? That's the real question. But we're going to get off this video because I can go on and on, baby. I done read up on this shit. I don't need to look at no news. I don't need to look at no notes. I don't even look at no notes when I talk about this shit because I done read up on it. I done studied up on it. I done thought about this shit. I almost want to solve this shit because y'all know how I be feeling about these damn crime stuff. I done told y'all. I done told you. I feel like I want to solve this shit. It's what I feel like I want to do. There's a lot of evidence. And sometimes you got to go back and look at stuff because you miss it the first time. And when I went back and looked at the preliminary hearing and her testimony, I said, oop, there go right there. There go right there. You weren't worried about where the fuck Nazia was. You were glad that she was gone because that moved her out of the way so that you could get 100% of attention from Jarvis because you were having to share attention with a 12-year-old child. And you didn't like that shit. That's exactly what that was. That's exactly what that was. Even though you had 5 children by him, you still weren't able to please him. And a 12-year-old, your niece, came in and gave this man what he wanted because he kept requesting her, which is sad. He groomed her to please him. Just like he groomed Shannon at 16 years old on up. She been messing with Jarvis since she was 16 years old. So you didn't have what it took for him. Or maybe he wasn't really attracted to her like that. I think he was more so attracted to the fact that she could have kids back to back to back to back to back. Because that's what he likes. That's what I think. That's what I think. Nazia was a beautiful girl. She was also gullible, and I feel like she probably was also groomed, like I said, by Shannon and her sister. Because there were several people, as well as a birthday party I told you guys that was had at that house as well, where a 12-year-old girl was touched in that house and went back and reported it. And the grandmother helped cover it up, and so did Shannon. Just like it was done to them. The grandmother had her first baby at 13. All of her children have run away at some point in time, just like Nazia's mother. The only difference between Nazia's mother and the rest of her children is Nazia's mother never came back and she got on drugs. Shannon and Makita, because they have a brother too, I found out. And the only reason that they moved, y'all do know that Nazia was also assaulted by a family member, which was a cousin who used to live beside them that was autistic. I told y'all about that as well. And the grandmother had children through CPS. So in order to cover up said crime, they denied that the shit happened and they covered up the cousin that actually assaulted Nazia, and they moved from that location. See, that's what they keep doing is moving. They moved from that location to get away from that ass to say, hey, that shit never happened. When the police and DPS came there to question, when there was a little 12-year-old girl that was there at that party where she says that Jarvis propositioned her with money, I think it was $20 to give him a BJ. And she said no, and she said he touched her inappropriately. The grandmother said, no, it never happened. And so did Shannon. I think a 12-year-old would know if someone propositioned them with money and tried to inappropriately touch them. But they covered it up, just like they covered up the shit that happened with Naziah. Yeah, that's what I believe. But we're going to get up off that. The case, again, like I said, is October the 6th. That's a long way, but I still will be covering it. I will be covering it. I will definitely be covering it. Any new developments that happen between now and then, I will definitely put that up there as well so y'all can stay in the know. I'm on this case, baby, because I want to know what happened. I want to know where she is. I want to know what the fuck is going on. In my mind, I feel like she may have been offered up as trafficking or something. That's what I feel like. If she ain't on the live, I feel like she might be trafficked because they said the area / hotel that she was last known seen at with Jarvis was a very high trafficking area, a drug area. They saw her going into the hotel, but they did not see her coming out. So did she go out? Because y'all know a lot of these hotels, if y'all look on social media and y'all study real good, a lot of these hotels in the drug-ridden area, they have these trafficking tunnels inside these hotel rooms where you can move a certain part of the floor and go underneath and get up out that bitch. Did y'all know that? Go read up on it. That's a real thing. Did she go out that way? Because how the fuck do you go in on camera, seen on camera, but you don't see her coming out and you see him coming out? So where the fuck is she? And when they look in the room, she's not there. So how did she get out of the room where there's cameras? Seeing her go in with Jarvis, but they saw him come out and she was not seen coming out. So that lets me know, was she in a room where there may be a hidden tunnel, trafficking tunnel in that room where she could have gotten out of that room or might have been taken out of to maybe be sold into trafficking to get rid of her, which means that would be evidence gotten rid of. Because if she's being trafficked, don't nobody know where the fuck she is. Most people who are being trafficked, they're in houses that nobody knows where they are. They're being drugged. Y'all know that. Y'all know that. That's just what I think. So I don't know. Let's get out of here. I will probably try to hit you guys back if there's more news that I can come across. But I definitely want to put that up there. When I saw that, I said, oh, yeah, we definitely got to put that up there. But let's get out of here. Okay, let's take that down. Thank you guys for joining. I appreciate you guys being here. Let's take all these down. I got to remove. Let me get all these down, child, because I want to give y'all all this tea, baby. I said, oh, I know this bitch didn't get up there and say that. We are on your ass, Shannon. Okay, we on your ass, baby. She's getting very frustrated, and that pressure is starting to get to her ass until where she's now starting to blurt out shit. And I don't even think she meant to say that. I don't think she meant to say that out loud, but it's too late. Once you put it out there, it's out there. Okay, leave it to me to get a screenshot, baby. If I see it, it's gonna get screenshotted. Just know that. That's called a receipt. But anywho and anyway, let's get out of here, okay? Love you guys down. Thank you to all of my mods, Bill Wilson, KBR, Tyra, and Scorpion Miss, my backup mods, Rose Armstead, and True TV Podcast. Thank you guys for doing an awesome job. I appreciate that. Thank you also to any content creators, True TV Podcast, Sunny Days. Thank you, Purple Unicorn, Deary Talk Show, Miss L's ATL, Boss Lady Brand, Girlfriend Chronicles. All right. Thank you all for coming over, and any other content creator I may have missed. Thank y'all for coming over and supporting the video. Please like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel if you've not done so. All right. Thank you guys so much. Let's go.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negative